We are here in the Nebraska Public Media Studio. I'm Michael Severe with Sean Callahan to talk some recruiting. A big get for Nebraska for the 2027 class.
Yeah, Nebraska goes and gets Torrey Pittman from Omaha Central, the #1 player right now in Nebraska for 2027. On track to be a 5-star. A lot of the recruiting services generally don't, rate all their 5-stars early, but he's a consensus top 25 national player. Usually the top 32 end up as 5-stars. He's one of the top safety recruits in the country. Yep. So this was a big deal to lock this up, especially with the way 2026, they didn't really go in on a lot of these Omaha guys. They're going to Iowa State and other places, and they go in and take care of business right away with arguably the most high-profile player in the city of Omaha.
Has things kind of settled down? In July, where we learned about, yes, the settlements here, a lot of different changes, the way NIL works now, we're looking more at that, how 1890 is affected. Has it kind of settled down now, or how do you feel it's been?
Yeah, I think now it's about how do you want to manage your money? Do you want to pay front-load money? Mm-hmm. Do you want to use your rev share and how many other NIL opportunities you can have? But the game is different, and a lot of people did this first year in unique ways. And I think Nebraska has their plan on how they're going to go about it. They feel good about it.
Yep.
There's some teams that were very aggressive with their front loading and how they did things, with how they paid the roster. It's the wild, wild west. We don't really know where this is all going to go and how it's going to shape out. But I know Nebraska really likes where they're at with their rev share and their model and what they're doing.
As former players, what's the biggest thing change, whether it be some of the NCAA rules or what they're doing rev share? What's the biggest change you think, most impactful one you think?
Well, obviously sharing revenue from the university. All of it's what we've seen the last, 2 or 3 years now. Is this year 3 that we've had NIL?
2021.
Okay, so we're going to year 4, right? So it's all just been new. But I'm totally fine with the players getting a share, getting a cut.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. It's making sure they're doing the correct things with it and having the right people in their corner to help them do the natural thing. But I think it's a great thing. I think it will continually evolve. I think the college game, what we know is now, will look vastly different 4 or 5 years from now, in a good way. I don't think it'll get cleaned up, but every year there's something new that's coming out, little tweaks, because it's going to have to, because it's still, like Sean said, it's the wild, wild west still.
Yeah, I was talking to Zach Bowman, former Husker. He said back then we were living on a little. Now they're living on a lot. You got to adjust, right?
Absolutely. I think for me, it wouldn't have been so much the rev share or the NIL. It would have been the freedom of movement.
Oh, yeah.
Where, I would have had to really pit how much I wanted to win and feel like I was growing and developing emotionally versus the opportunities to play. It's a lot to take on. You have money managers, you have handlers, and you have opportunity. And I think, you'd have to be really well grounded and surround yourself with really good people, because I think the freedom of movement, it'd be easy to make a lot of knee-jerk bad decisions.
That general manager position is huge, right? All these schools are having to deal with a guy or a staff who can figure out where everybody's going to be and where they're going.
The general manager job has gone from a position that didn't exist to jobs now that are paying $800,000 to $1 million per year. So I think it tells you how important it is, and you have to develop a budget, almost like the NFL.
Yeah.
How much do you want to spend on each room? And in the case of like a Torrey Pittman, I think the benefit of a guy like him committing early, collectives and other entities can pay high school guys legally still. So that is kind of the game within the game. Can you find ways to pay money off the cap within the rules? Mm-hmm. And those are the rules right now, where teams are starting to pay recruits earlier and earlier, in order to do things. But you have a budget with the rev share money, and you have to stick to that. And it's not like the old days where the budget was whatever the oil man wanted to write the check for.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's been NIL the first few years, and they're going to try to rein this in. And will they be successful? I don't know. People are very optimistic about that.